Hello and good evening to everyone who is watching this introduction to a couple of films that for the last couple of weeks I was calling Smovie. Um, because of the obvious reason, today we are celebrating the Feast of Divine Mercy. I wanted to share with you a couple of films with that theme. There will be three films, and the first one is an animated film, however, very beautiful, very informative. I don't want to say emotional, but you can really get into this film. It's based on some private revelations about the nature of Mass. This film can be presented to the little children, to teenagers, as well as to the adults, because even though it's animated, it presents the great truth about the nature of the Mass. Basically, the film, I think, was made in 2011, originally in Mexico, and I think that the original title was in Spanish, but obviously it got translated quite quickly into English. I think that the narration is with American accent, but that doesn't matter, I think. This is the story of three different people in three different ages with different troubles. People who are, some of them are close to God, some of them are not so much, and they end up in one mass. But this mass is very different, or they live it very differently. The story in the animated way shows what spiritually happens at Mass. I have to say that when I watched it the first time, I was very impressed by how accurate the authors stuck to the liturgical symbols, but also how rich this explanation, the spiritual background of the Mass was presented. So I'm sure that both your children and yourself might enjoy and benefit greatly from this film. Really good film. Obviously, it's the presentation of the Eucharist, but it's not just that. It's a nice story behind it. So this is for both children and parents. A great hit from the last year that is called Love and Mercy for Stena has been a massive success in the United States. This was one of the few films totally Catholic that actually made a great impression on the audience of America, obviously Catholics, who are apparently having a great devotion to the Divine Mercy over there. But this is the film that is presenting the apparitions of Sister Faustina. However, this is not just what we know from the diary. I did some research on the website. I have to say I haven't watched this film yet, but I think that it will be for tonight or this week. But this is the review that I found on this movie's website. So, Love and Mercy Faustina is a docudrama on divine mercy and the mission of Sister Faustina Kowalska, reveals previously unknown facts and recently disclosed documents that shed new light on the truth of the divine mercy. As many know, the Divine Mercy is a devotion to Jesus Christ associated with the apparitions of Jesus to Sister Faustina in Poland in the 1930s. Jesus urged Sister Faustina to paint an image according to the pattern that she had seen and requested to have the image venerated first in the sister's chapel and then throughout the world. The venerated image under this Christological title refers to what Sister Faustina's diary describes as God's loving mercy towards all people, especially for sinners. Scientific analysis included in the film indicates that Sister Faustina indeed saw the Lord Jesus. Cooperating with the Conrad Media team, which was the producers of the film, a group of experts found letters of Father Michał Sopoćko, Sister Faustina's confessor, and while browsing forgotten archives, they found additional previously unknown documents. To a large extent, Love and Mercy Faustina can contribute to fulfilling Jesus' promise that the spark that will prepare the world for my final coming will come from Poland. This is the quotation from the diary of Sister Faustina, number 1732. So actually in this film there are additional information, new information that are putting the new light on this private revelation. Obviously, according to the teaching of the church, no one has got the duty to believe in private revelations, but in the same time, if Jesus himself, and this wasn't happening that often in the past, when Jesus himself appears to someone, he really wants us to embrace this great mystery of God. So I strongly recommend this film, especially that it's, you know, even though the sort of faith-based films are not that very popular, but in a lot of websites the review has got like 4 and 5 stars, or 7.5 to 9 points. Really worth watching. And the third film that I would like to recommend, oh, by the way, Love and Mercy Faustina is probably for parents and teenagers. In a lot of reviews, the age rate was 12 and above. So this is not for small children. And the next film, the last film, I would like to recommend is called Hacksaw Ridge. This is the film that I didn't particularly want to watch, but one of my priest friends, Father Pavel, he recommended it strongly to me, and I'm really grateful that he did, because as much as I don't like watching sort of war films or drama, I think that the story is so strong. It is based on true story. The story is so strong that you, in the middle of the film, you start forgetting quickly that this is about the war, and you focus so much on the message. So the quick review says that a true story of Desmond Doss, who won the Congregational Medal of Honor despite refusing to bear arms during the Second World War, on religious grounds. Doss was drafted and ostracized by fellow soldiers for his pacifist stance, but went on to earn respect and admiration for his bravery, selflessness, and compassion after he risked his life without firing a shot to save, I don't want to read out the number of how many people, in the Battle of Okinawa. I have to say that films normally don't engage me emotionally, but this film fooled me. When I was watching it, the first part, I started feeling little disappointment and hatred for the main character in this film, and I thought, man, why don't you give up? This was the feeling that was raising above me. But heading towards the film and to the conclusion of the film, I was smiling to myself, and I felt like really fooled, because Mel Gibson, the director of this film, presented it in the way that we almost feel sorry for ourselves, and we feel stupid for ourselves because we judged the main character so wrongly. Please watch the film. It's enough to say that Mel Gibson, this is Mel Gibson's film that was following Passion, Just a bit of warning that if you don't like to watch sort of tough and full of blood scenes, maybe for your psyche it's best not to watch this film, because knowing Mel Gibson's style, he wants to be very accurate, very sort of naturalistic in the presentation of what he does. But in the same time, when this film was presented in, I think, 2016 in Venice in the festival, he got 10 minutes standing ovation. This doesn't happen for every film. So my strong recommendation, this is for people with strong nerves, but the film really worth watching. And the question you might ask is, Father, Divine Mercy Feast, and you are recommending us like war drama full of blood and killing. Well, you will see that the sentence "one more," this expression that someone was saying in prayer in that film, makes a great sense in this Sunday. Let me say one more. I just want to leave you with that message, and I hope that you will enjoy one of these films, or maybe over the week you might have a chance to watch more. And just additional information, for the last couple of, no, for 2 weeks, I think, I've been receiving messages from fathers from Divine Retreat Center in Ramsgate, who are live streaming from 6 to 9 p.m. The services, which is the Rosary, the Adoration, and the Holy Mass from their center. Daily, they've got about 1,000 viewers, maybe more, especially for tonight and tomorrow, when we would normally have the praise and prayer evening in our parish. I recommend also this time if you would like to spend the time, the evening in prayer. So the link you'll find below the link that you just clicked to watch this evening events movie. I wish you a good night and a relaxed time, or very fruitful time when you are watching one of these movies, and hopefully see you tomorrow. God bless. Bye-bye.